Hi guys, welcome back. I am Anushree and you're watching Legathon. First of all, thank you so much for your reviews on my previous video. If you haven't watched it yet, click on the I button over there and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Agriculture employs around 58% of India's agriculture and contributes to 15% of India's GDP. The new farm laws are expected to create a massive impact on Indian agriculture and agro-trade sector. Prime Minister Narendra Modi termed the passing of new laws as watershed moment in history of Indian agriculture. The central government, however, has promised that these new laws will transform agriculture sector and double farmers' income by the year 2022. However, the flip side of the coin is that over past few days, in fact past few months, we have been witnessing the protests being called out by farmers all across the country. On 25th September alone, around 50,000 farmers protested in state of Maharastra. Even in states like Punjab, Haryana, Chhattisgarh and Karnataka, farmers are protesting and demanding rolling back of these laws, terming it as black laws. Lok Sabha MP Harsimrat Kaur Badal resigned from her post of Union Ministry over this issue. Not just this, Akali Dal, one of BJP's oldest ally, has said to have left NDA government due to this issue. Despite all such uproars and protests by farmers as well as by opposition party, President Ramnath Kovind gave his assent to these bills on 27th of September 2020, thereby transforming these controversial laws into new farm laws of our country. So what are these laws anyways, and why are farmers protesting and demanding rolling back of these laws? Let's try answering these questions in video today. First things first, let's see what are these three laws that we are talking about. There are three main legislations which has been passed by the Indian Parliament. The Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020, the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act 2020 and the Essential Commodities Act Amendment Act 2020. Let's come to crux of the matter now. What are there in these laws which is making farmers protest or go against these laws or ask for rolling back of these laws? In order to understand any law in gist, one has to always refer to its preamble. Now if I read out the preamble of this law, you'll obviously feel this as Greek and Latin. In order to appreciate this law, one has to always understand how the agricultural marketing happened before these laws came into picture. For that, we have to know two keywords. One is APMC, one more is MSP. You don't have to break your head over this. These may seem complicated, but they're not that complicated. APMC first basically means these are market committees established by state government especially. For example, if there is a locality, in that locality all the farmers who grow crops there will come to these APMC markets or mandis to sell their agricultural products, where the trade, selling and buying of the agricultural crops happen. Auctioning basically happens there. Next comes MSP. MSPs are basically guaranteed price which are announced by the central government every year. For example, if I am a farmer who is growing apple every year, now I have invested a lot of money in this, and by end of the time I go and sell it in the market, if the price falls, I will not have any motivation to continue agriculture. In order to avoid that, in order to provide an incentive to farmer, the MSP system has been placed. So what central government does is, it will say that if you are growing pineapple, imagine that there is 1 kg of pineapple can be sold only at rupees 15 per kg. You cannot sell it below 15 per kg, or you cannot buy it below 15 per kg. So it is a safeguard which is given to farmer. Below that you cannot purchase it from the farmer. So let's see how APMC mandis work in India. Now with a simple example, there is a farmer here who is growing 100 kgs of potato. Now after growing 100 kg of potato, he is taking his agricultural produce to something called as APMC mandis. These are basically markets, and in those APMC market there will be persons called licensed traders or commission agent. They will basically start an auction of it. Here is where our MSP comes into picture. So your auctioning can start only above the MSP which has been fixed by the government. For example, the MSP for potato is rupees 15 per kg. So the auctioning can start only above 15 rupees per kg, and it may end anywhere. Okay, once auction is done, the farmer will be paid whatever amount his auction happened, and farmer will have to pay commission to the agent end of the day. So after that, auctioneers will sell it to other people like wholesalers. Imagine if auction stopped at rupees 20 per kg, he will sell it to wholesaler at 25 per kg, then he will sell it to retailer at 30 per kg. That again will end of the day come to consumer at rupees 35 per kg. So this is how APMC used to work. So what are these new laws doing? Diagram you can see, initially farmer had to go to APMC and then go to commission agent or licensed traders there, and then it used to go to middlemen, corporates, e-marts, etc. Now by virtue of this new act, farmer doesn't have to go to APMC, commission agent, middlemen, etc. Now he can directly sell his agricultural produce to big corporates or e-marts. However, the act is nowhere telling that it will abolish APMC mandi. APMC will still exist. It is just giving another option for farmer to sell his agricultural produce directly to private entities. Now let's talk about second law. Let's understand this contract farming or this new law with help of a simple example. Now imagine I am a farmer who grows 100 kgs of onion. Okay, now what I do is I enter into a contract, private contract with anyone, be it a big corporate. Let's take example of Big Basket here. I enter into a contract with Big Basket, and Big Basket will tell me, by end of 6 months, grow 100 kgs of onions, and once it is cultivated, I will pay rupees 25 per kg of onion. What is the biggest advantage of this? Now I being the farmer, I will not have to face any market risk here. Now by the time I sell onions to Big Basket, if price is high or low of onion, I am not concerned with it. The third law is the Essential Commodities Amendment Act 2020. Originally, this act deals with the regulation of agricultural product. That is, it enables the government to regulate the production, supply, distribution, trade, commerce of essential commodities. For example, your pulses, potato, onions, edible oils, etc. But what is this new act doing is, with the passage of this act, these regulations can be made only under extraordinary circumstances like war, famine or natural calamity, etc. Apart from these, the central government cannot interfere and regulate. So what is this new law doing is, it is somehow allowing the private buyers to hoard essential commodities, which only government authorized agents could do earlier. Now everybody, even the private entities, can buy bulk of goods and hoard it in their market area storerooms and sell it whenever there is a demand and higher price. After understanding these three laws in brief, let's list out what are the good things about these laws. The new laws help farmers in selling their produces outside the physical territory of APMC mandis. That is, now farmers can go outside APMC mandis and also can sell their products. Second, it gives farmers freedom to trade across state and empower them to turn into traders. So what are these laws doing? They are eliminating middlemen. Now the farmer will not have to wait for any trader or middleman or licensed agent. They themselves can sell their produce at market price directly to private players. Now these private players may be agricultural businesses, supermarket chains, online grocery shops, etc. Helps farmers to enter into contracts with private entities directly. This is our contract farming part, which we have already dealt with. Now on the contrary, let's see what are some bad features of these laws, or let's understand why farmers are actually protesting against these laws. One of the main thing which farmers are afraid of because of these new laws are, it hampers with the monopoly of APMC mandis. That is, the new laws are bringing in a parallel private market. So in these parallel private market, you don't have to pay any market fee or APMC fee, or there will be no middlemen involved. Thereby, it is obvious that everybody will get attracted to the new private market and people will trade there only. Therefore, eventually APMCs will go out of picture. Eventually APMCs will become irrelevant. That is how APMC will start diminishing. That is where the farmers are scared that if APMC goes away, obviously even our MSP, that is minimum support price, will also go away. It is important to remember here that MSP will only work in APMC because APMC is state government regulated markets. Right? So only there government can interfere and say that no, you have to buy only above minimum support price. You have to provide a farmer with minimum support price. Whereas in contract farming, Government cannot interfere and say that no, you cannot buy 1 kg onion for 5 rupees, because this is a private contract. Government cannot regulate it. Farmers are afraid that this will end APMC as well as minimum support price regime. Third, lack of bargaining power. Farmers will be at mercy of big corporations during dealings. Companies may dictate the price. Now obviously your big basket has better set of negotiators than a farmer who is illiterate. Farmer will just agree to whatever price they give because he's not aware of market price, and he is also afraid that where can he go if it. Fourth, middlemen will be affected. Obviously there will be some loss of jobs. Lastly, it is being told that these models have already been implemented in countries like UK, US and European countries, and there it has miserably failed. Ultimately, after analyzing everything, what we have understood so far is these new laws are nowhere stating that MSP will be abolished, APMC markets will be abolished now on. It is nowhere stating that these two systems or existing systems will be done away with. What these new laws are doing, they're basically providing a new market with the existing market in place. APMC will also be there and another new market will also be there. These two will go parallel, hand in hand, and this is how agriculture sector will work from now on. But where the problem is arising is the MSP, that is minimum support price, has been nowhere mentioned in these three laws, and since MSP is not a legal right, farmers are afraid that since these new laws do not talk about MSP, they are afraid that MSP has been abolished. A mere statement in any of these laws saying that MSP will not be abolished would have saved the government from so much of opposition. So we simply do not know how these new laws will unfold themselves in the near future. The government can simply choose to put a full stop to all these protests and speculations by adding provisions of MSP in any of these laws, or it could just choose to ignore all the protests and let time decide if these laws are anti-farmers or pro-farmers. That's pretty much it. I really hope you guys understood the new Farm Laws 2020 and why farmers are protesting. If you did like the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in my next video. Until then, stay tuned.